Carlos Alcaraz and an irresistible call. It has become increasingly difficult for Juan Carlos Ferrero to manage the Murcia-born player, and he has turned to Samuel Lopez for help, who has shared how he is experiencing his first weeks as part of the team of the best Spanish tennis player at the moment. At the peak of his success, others would choose to take it all, but Juan Carlos Ferrero has decided to share the load to avoid overwhelming himself and continue enjoying it in moderation. The Valencian has admitted that he needed help to continue guiding Carlos Alcaraz, both for time and methods. And that's why he used the wild card of a phone call. A number that he knew would hide a yes, "I'm eager" as soon as it was answered. Samuel Lopez. After the first few weeks working as an official member of Carlitos' coaching team, the Vienna native spoke with Puntod Break about how he is experiencing this major change in his life at the age of 54. Parting ways with Pablo Carreño after so many years and taking him to the top 10 was the hardest part for him. The week before I communicated the decision was really tough. As tough as the 2 weeks that followed. I felt strange. We had spent so many years together, so many emotions, and we both have many memories. Once I started working with Juan Carlos Ferrero and Carlos Alcaraz, I focused more on my goals, concentrating on the day-to-day, and now I am more involved in the role. Despite the difficulty of the decision, there was no other choice but to take it. It was the offer of his life. A conversation with Juan Carlos made me change projects. His idea for the past 2 years was for me to join the team at some point, and Pablo knew about it. That idea was on hold as long as I was with Pablo, but I knew that at any moment Juan Carlos would ask me to join them. I had everything set up to continue with Pablo for another year, but at the last minute, the plans changed. There was only one moment of doubt, but it didn't last long. In the second week of preseason with Pablo, we had already started, but that same Monday, Juan Carlos informed me that the time had come, that they needed to add someone else to the team. I didn't expect it, honestly. At that moment, I doubted. I needed to think about it, although I knew that in this sporting bet lay my future. It meant stepping up a level in my career as a coach. I couldn't let this opportunity slip by because if I didn't join, someone else would. At least, he got the desired response from Pablo Carreño. Something like this couldn't be said over the phone. If I found out on a Tuesday, I would go up to Barcelona on Thursday, and that's where we would talk. The first thing we tackled was this conversation. It was very difficult to tell him. I could barely finish the sentences because of the emotion. I can only thank him for how he reacted, because he didn't expect it either. He was a bit stunned, but he understood. Pablo told me to be calm, that in my situation, he would have done the same. Finally, about Ferrero's decision, Samuel Lopez speaks from experience. Years have gone by, with many trips, tensions. Many responsibilities fall on the coach, so having the support of a second voice is important. It's a figure who can bring you freshness, especially now that Carlos is becoming more mature and making some decisions. It requires absolute mental work, where all of us need to stay fresh. If Juan Carlos made this decision, it's for Carlos' benefit, because he believes it will do him a lot of good. Zverev chooses the best in the world, Carlos Alcaraz or Sinner? The German tennis player, world number 2, has surrendered to the figure of the Murcia-born player, although he claims that the Italian deserves the crown in 2024. Carlos Alcaraz or Jannik Sinner, who is better? In terms of Novak Djokovic, this is the question being asked in the world of tennis after the emergence and confirmation of both players. In the debate, some opt for the consistency of the Italian, while others lean toward the magic of the Spaniard. During an interview on Super Tennis, Alexander Zverev was asked this question, and the number 2 gave his opinion. Despite the great level Alcaraz has displayed this year by winning Roland Garros and Wimbledon, the German opts for Sinner. In tennis terms, he absolutely deserves to be number 1 in the world. He has won 2 Grand Slam titles, 3 Masters, and the ATP Finals. He is the best player in the world, the one who has won the most titles, he stated. That said, he only has good words for Carlitos. Carlos is a person I get along very well with. We've also shared special moments together, playing important matches against each other and spending a bit more time together off the court. Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz already know their first rivals for 2025. The 2025 season is just a few weeks away, and the world's best players are already preparing to arrive in the best possible shape for the start of a new year. 2 of those already working are Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz, who are training under the careful watch of their teams to seek glory on the land of kangaroos, where the tennis calendar begins. Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner are working hard on their preseason preparations. The world number 1 is working in Dubai to focus his energies on defending his title at the Australian Open, which he will arrive at without playing a previous tournament, but with 2 exhibition matches in the same venue where he won his first Grand Slam. the Italian will participate in the exhibition event organized by the first major of the year, a first duel in which he will face local Alexei Popyrin on January 7th. 3 days later, he will do the same against an opponent yet to be determined. The world number 3 continues with his preparation in Vienna, Spain, under the careful supervision of his coach, Juan Carlos Ferrero. This intense and focused work aims to ensure that he is in optimal condition for the season's first Grand Slam, the Australian Open. With a strategically designed plan, the Murcia-born player will head to Australia in the first days of January, ready to face a demanding calendar, which includes a previous exhibition event before the main tournament begins. Unlike in previous years, he has chosen not to participate in any official tournaments beforehand, prioritizing his adaptation to the climate and conditions of the Oceania continent. This decision aims to maximize his physical and mental performance at an event that represents a special challenge, as it is the only one of the 4 major tournaments he has yet to conquer. The road to Melbourne includes 2 exhibition matches. On January 8th, he will face Australian Alex de Minaur, while on January 10th, he will take on Alexei Popyrin, also a local. These matches will serve as a key test to fine-tune his playing level and ensure he arrives in the best possible shape for the Australian Open, where he will aim for his 5th Grand Slam title. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, because here, at Tennis Zone, we are dedicated to providing you with the best content for the best audience. We offer in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews, and comprehensive coverage of everything related to the world of tennis. Join our community and be part of the excitement of the tournaments with us. Additionally, at Tennis Zone, we strive to offer you up-to-date, high-quality content on players, tournaments, strategies, and the most relevant events in the tennis world.